Okay, David Haye. He's going to be facing Monte Barrett. Finally, it's been settled. Who's the opponent that steps into the ring with him? What happens? Where we're going to go from there? Well, you know, Monte Barrett. Who is Monte Barrett? This guy was considered a heavyweight prospect back in the beginning of 2001, 2002. Okay, he faced Joe Macy. You know, he gave Joe Macy a pretty good, decent bout. You know, he's been really fluctuating in the heavyweight division. You know, he's somebody that's been fighting since they were 9 years old. He's somebody that can give somebody some problems, but then not give anybody else problems. With Baloo, he had problems with them. He went into the match without a game plan, was kind of just pushed and shoved around and just manhandled, and then finally, you know, they stopped the bout on him. Now, he got to redeem himself. He brought himself back under the light on the undercard of a main pay-per-view buy, and he got to face a guy that a lot of people were putting a lot of hype about because he was 6'8", ex-football player, and his record was padded up with 30 wins and something knockouts, right? Which is Ty Fields. And what happens with Ty Fields is that he knocks him out in the first round, drops him, and now he gets the prize, which is David Haye. David Haye, being a unified cruiserweight champion of the world, finally making his debut in the heavyweight division, even though he's already tested the water a while back in the heavyweight division. But now he's decided, I'm going to be really, you know, be a solid heavyweight. I want to unify it. I want to be in the same breath of Holyfield and do exactly what Holyfield did, is gather all the bouts and be the #1 heavyweight of the world. So he comes in the heavyweight division, debuting at that, and his first matchup is going to be Monte Barrett. How much of a chance did Monte Barrett have? Well, I'm going to have to say this. Even though Monte Barrett blew out Ty Fields, who was a 6'8", a big heavyweight, Monte Barrett is still considered a small heavyweight. He's not a norm of heavyweight of what we have now. The heavyweights now that are being produced out of the UK and even out of the US, right, are big heavyweights. 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". These big heavyweights are have good coordination. You know, David Haye's got good coordination. Latimer Klitschko's got good coordination. His brother Vitelli's got good big man coordination. So when he faced Ty Fields, he really faced a guy that didn't have good balance, a guy that was just starting late in his career in boxing, and a guy that had so many questions around him. He could have been the Riddler from Batman. Okay, so the night they decided to face each other, Ty Fields was blown out by Monte Barrett. Monte Barrett catching him with a nice short left hook, drops him, gets rid of him, and you know what? That's exactly what you're supposed to do when you're a kid that's been training since you're 9 years old, and you get a guy that says, you know what? I could be something. I could be the Kimbo Slice of the heavyweight division in the boxing world because I'm a brawler and I got height and size. You're supposed to show him out. You're supposed to expose him for what he is, which is what? A fluke. Somebody that doesn't even have the right to be in there with you. That's exactly what he did. Now, what chance does he have against David Haye, even though he blew out Ty Fields? Well, for one thing, David Haye is nothing like Ty Fields, okay? For one thing is, David Haye is a very big man also, but with boxing skills. And he's got a good boxing ability and power behind him, okay? He's got a good foundation of boxing behind him. So this is a guy that you cannot compare Ty Fields to David Haye. There's no comparison. They don't even mirror themselves at all. Right? So where does that leave Monte Barrett? I'm going to tell you right now. Monte Barrett is going to be a good fighter with him. It's going to be a good test of water for David Haye to see where he's at. But really, Monte Barrett there is really for David Haye to look good, blow him out, and have that later date in 2009 in June with Latimer Klitschko. Now, the bad part is that Monte Barrett could be something a little bit too much for David Haye to go to his head, thinking, okay, I blew this guy out. I'm ready for the best top guys in the division. Could be rushed. He could be a bigger version of Fernando Vargas, okay? Rushed into the guys, you know, the Lions, and then the Cub gets scratched up a little bit and sent back down the hill. That could happen because of the fact that Wade has got a great jab. Wade is an Olympian. Wade is a big heavyweight and an intelligent heavyweight, okay? So there's no comparison there, too, with Wade and Monte Barrett. So there's no way of preparing with facing Monte Barrett to get to Klitschko. I would say you would have to face Monte Barrett, then go after that, go with some other guys that are out there, kind of just, swimming in this big pool of heavyweights to gain that experience, to gain more of the confidence, and also to build the fight. Why not build this fight? Make it a mega fight, Why blow this all out on one load? You know what I mean? Take some of the traits that Oscar De La Hoya has done. He's making us wait for this Margarito bout. He's making us scream and holler for the Margarito bout. Same thing with Bomb Aaron, with Cotto. He made us wait for the Cotto Margarito bout. Do the same promotional deals that a lot of these guys do. Roy Jones, B-Hop, everybody wants it. You see how they're generating a lot of attention because people want to see it. That's exactly the same thing we need from David Haye. Okay, let's talk about Andrade versus Bute. Bute's a good boxer, pure boxer, guy that knows that has good ring generalship, guy that knows how to use the ring, and he's got some fast speed and got fast hands. Now, what I've witnessed of him, he does fairly well, but his whole roster of guys that he's been faced with, are the who's and who's, right? Where Andrade's got a little bit better in his fight game. Him since losing to Mikel Kessler, who's 168 title holder and who lost to Joe Calzaghe, but really would have to put him number 2 in the 168 weight division. So after that defeat to Mikel Kessler, what has Andrade done for himself to get another title shot once again against Lucien Bute? Well, we can recap everything, right? Well, since losing to him, he's actually been stepping up to his game, against other lesser opponents that he's been faced up against. He had that tendency of starting slow. We all know he's got a good jaw, and we all know he's heavy-handed. He's a big 168 fighter, okay? But he really is a slow fighter. He's pretty much very predictable. He was going to go in slow and probably pick up and get them body shots and try to weigh out his opponents. Well, since losing to Kessler, he's been upping his game. He's been, stepping up first. He's been landing the punches first. He's been applying the pressure, knowing he's a he's got a good jaw. He's been going forward, and he's been doing the things that he needs to do in order to walk away with a victory. So, with Lucien Bute, what he pretty much has got to do is cut that ring off. That's going to be something that needs to be stressed out of his corner, is cut the ring off. Do not allow Bute to be the ring general in this bout, okay? Take away everything that is necessary. So that would be, he would have to land first. He would have to set the tempo first in the bout, and he would really have to take the boxer out of his game plan by just brawling with him, not trying to outbox him like he tried to do with Kessler, not starting too late, not starting off in the mid rounds where he was not even able to reestablish himself in the bout like he did with Kessler, okay? He's going to have to establish himself from the beginning of the bout, which is the first round, to the ending of the bout. Now, can he knock out Bute? We don't know. Bute's never really been in that gray area yet, okay? Can Bute knock out Andrade? No, I don't think so. Andrade's shown he has got a Class A chin, okay? And that's really what Andrade's got going for himself stepping into this bout, where Bute's never really faced anybody with Andrade's, I would say, caliber, okay? Caliber of jaw. Caliber of skills, yeah, but caliber of jaw, no. And the pressure that Andrade is going to be applying on Bute is something that we have to kind of wait and witness. Is Bute going to be able to accept and be able to adjust to Andrade's pressure, okay? Andrade, we have seen how he does fairly against guys that are good movers in the bout and know how to outbox them, okay? And I think he's learned a lot, him facing Mikel Kessler, what, I'm a slow fighter, but I'm a heavy-handed fighter. I'm going to have to go in there first and try to just really wear down the guy that's in front of me and get the knockout. And that's really where I see Andrade, taking that, is he's got to look for that knockout, but he's got to work for that knockout. And that's by cutting the ring, going to the body early, and just really walking his man down to those ropes in order to get the KO. Him trying to outbox the boxer Bute, that ain't gonna happen. We know that ain't gonna happen. Bute's gonna, that's his department, okay? And anytime that's somebody else's department, why change up your style to try to match that person? You know, styles make fights. Stick to your style. Do what you need to do, which is go forward, cut the ring off, and go to that body. Bute, what he's got to do is establish that jab. Establish his jab. Use his footwork. Puzzle the guy. Never allow him to set on his punches to go off first. Always be first, and use your ring generalship and use exactly what you've been doing to keep you undefeated, which is box. Where do I see the bout? What's my prediction? Well, on liverpuncher.com, I predicted Andrade at 9 rounds, he takes him out. But now that I've seen Bute's fights and been able to really see his highlights and his stats and what he's been able to do, well, I'm going to have to kind of say, I don't know yet. I really don't even know what the pick's going to be. I think it's all up to Lucian Bute and what he does and how he decides to dictate his bout. If he decides to sit there and try to take out Andrade, knock him out, then I'm going to have to go Andrade, saying Andrade's going to be the bigger, stronger man, and he's going to be able to land the bigger punches. Now, if he decides to be the boxer and really just use his footwork and make it a boxing lesson one-on-one, then I'm going to go with Bute. So that being said, I really don't know until that bell rings in the first round and you see the 3 rounds are in the books. Then more or less I think who's going to be able to take it is who establishes first, who decides to use their boxing skills to their advantage, okay?